You may wonder if thank you notes are important. Not only are they still important, but they can be the deciding factor for which candidate gets the job. Here's how to write a thank you note that will not make you look desperate or unprofessional and will shed you in the positive light. A thank you note has three purposes. It is to sincerely thank the interview for taking the time to interview you. It is to reiterate your enthusiasm for the job, and to give an adequate writing sample. A thank you note should not sound like a template. If you can copy and paste any portion of a thank you note and put it into another thank you note, then it shouldn't be there. If you think that a hiring manager or a recruiter can't tell when you've used template portions, well, they can. As a matter of fact, it can induce a pretty big eye roll. Secondly, a thank you note is not the opportunity to take a second pitch at the job. That can appear rude. For instance, thank you very much for taking the time to interview me. Now I'm going to take more of your time and do the exact same thing. So here's how to write a thank you note that'll give you the competitive edge. First, open up your word processor. Most recruiters and hiring managers prefer a thank you note to be emailed. However, you can make that judgment call. If you were in an interview and an interviewer had thank you notes and cards all over their desk, well, it might be better to send that one snail mail. Just keep in mind, you're going to have to move a little bit quicker and have excellent penmanship. If the interviewer had a very clean desk and seemed very paperless, well, then you might want to go ahead and email the thank you note. So whether you're sending your thank you note via email or snail mail, keep in mind that it should still be in letter format. You should still start with a formal salutation. So how should your salutation read? The best thing to do is address them in the salutation the same way they asked you to address them in person. For instance, if Dr. Jonathan Mathers said, "Call me John," feel free to start the thank you note as John, comma. Leave off the hi, leave off the dear, John, comma is fine. The body of the thank you note should be 2 to 3 paragraphs. Use the first paragraph to sincerely thank the recruiter or the hiring manager for taking the time to speak with you. And the second paragraph, you should really dig into specifically why you are so enthused about the opportunity in front of you. Be succinct, every word counts. Now, as I touched on before, the thank you note should not sound like a template. Make sure you dig into specific items of the conversation, problems you're interested in solving, obstacles you're interested in tackling, and anything else that became specific to that particular conversation. If you interviewed with several people, make sure that each person gets a different customized thank you note, because it's not unheard of for interviewers to compare their thank you notes with each other. Now, concluding the thank you note might seem a bit awkward at first, but just keep it simple. You can put a simple statement like, "Thank you very much, and I look forward to the next step. Sincerely," and your name. After your first draft, you want to read and reread your thank you note. Keep in mind that hiring managers and recruiters use this thank you note to assess a candidate's writing ability and attention to detail. What I do is I wait maybe a couple hours later, I read it again, or what you might want to do is even have a friend spell check it or proofread it, just to make sure that you don't have any errors or catch any words that maybe spell check might have missed. Once you're done with your letter, copy and paste it into the text of the email. Don't send it as an attachment. If you are sending it snail mail, then you'll want to handwrite it out and get it in the mail as soon as possible. However, if you are headed back to your current job and your interviewer knows you're headed back to your current job, don't rush yourself to get the letter done in a few hours, because you don't want to send the message that you're using your current job to look for a new job, and you also want to make sure you take the time to get it done right. Whether you're preparing for an interview or writing a thank you note, make sure that you keep in mind all the amazing, wonderful, positive things that you bring to the table, and that vibe should come through. If you've enjoyed this and found it helpful, make sure you subscribe to the Dubin and Lee YouTube channel or find us on Facebook. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them for me below. Talk to you soon.